Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Khan Kubrat, I am playing 4-color Arena Rector. This is a control deck based around the card Arena Rector, 4-mana 1/2. When Arena Rector dies, you may exile it. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. This is, of course, a play on the Urza block favorite Academy Rector, which searches for an enchantment, and that card has been finding ways to break Magic since it was printed, finding things like Yawgmoth's Bargain and eventually Omniscience. Just really cool card. And this is the Planeswalker version, originally printed in Battle Bond, I believe. The core of these decks is, of course, clearing the way, and then resolving this thing, and then killing this thing. And that's what this deck is kind of built to do. Cabal Therapy is the nuts and bolts here. 1 black, choose a card name, target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name, and flashback sack a creature. This is a free way to sacrifice a creature. If you cast Arena Rector, your opponent does not get priority before you can immediately sacrifice it to Cabal Therapy, so they don't get to like Swords to Plowshares or anything. If this Rector comes into play, you can immediately sack it to a Cabal Therapy in your graveyard and get a Planeswalker into play. The Cabal Therapy, you get to name Force of Will, or you get to name Surgical Extraction, or whatever it is you're worried about. On the front half and the back half, slams the Rector. Plus, you will have seen the hand from the front half, so you also get to take a card. In addition to the free sack outlet, you also just get to take a card from them. Innocent Blood, not quite as good, but it does take some pressure off of you as a 1-mana removal spell and sack your Rector if you have one. And the rest of the deck is just staying alive until you get there. Brainstorm, Ponder, and Preordain, because despite where this might look like a control deck, this is, I would say, a lot closer to a combo deck. That's where you get the Preordains in these slots as well. The 5 forces help keep you alive. 4 Plow, 2 Prismatic Ending, and 4 Teferi. I love 4 Teferi. The 4 Teferi is kind of a smoking gun that this is a combo deck and not a control deck. Control decks like 1 or 2 Teferi, maybe some Narsets, like they spread it around a little bit. 4 Teferi is just like, I want to check your counter spells as often as possible. I want them shut down, and I want to remove any nonsense like Rest in Peace or Leyline of the Void or anything that might mess up my Arena Rector, and I want to go off with impunity. 4 Teferi is the right number for a deck that is built the way this one is built, and the payoffs are Ugin and Nicol Bolas. These are big, bad Planeswalkers that should take over a game on their own. They're very difficult to remove. I hate that Nicol Bolas is blue, because that turns on Pyroblast, which is a huge part of the format right now, so I suspect we're going to get Ugin against any deck that might represent red mana. It would suck to do all that work just to get Pyroblasted. But Ugin's in here too. Colorless, giant, absolute animal, board sweeper, and lightning bolt machine that eventually wins the game. The one thing bridging the gap here is Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like, this is castable, but also there's situations you might want to Rector it out if you need to, like, brainstorm or something. Or maybe if, like, Ugin or Nicol Bolas are in your hand or they've already been answered. Jace is powerful enough to win a game on his own. I looked at replacing the Jace with Wandering Emperor, because that's generally a better Planeswalker in the context of the 5 to 7 Pyroblast legacy that we're living in. But looking at the mana here, this is a Dimir deck with 2 splash colors. This is not Esper control. There's only 1 Plains and 1 Tundra in the deck for white mana, and Wandering Emperor costs white to cast. So you would need both of your white sources in play, and if you have no way to recur your graveyard, so if you ever get your Tundra Wastelanded, then Wandering Emperor is just uncastable. So I needed my Bridge Planeswalker to actually be castable with some reliability, and we landed on Jace there. And that's the whole plan. I am going to have to adjust my expectations to play this like a combo deck, because seeing the cards that I'm seeing, like, probably 3/4 of this deck, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a sweet Esper control list, but it's not. I gotta resist my control player urges and just slam Arena Rector and get Ugin into play as quickly as possible. And that's the plan here. Let's go facilitate some giant dragon brothers. I'm on the draw in round 1 with basically everything I want in a hand. I have the Cabal Therapy, a Strix to keep me alive, Force to also help keep me alive, 2 mana to get the Strix up and running, Teferi to check, like between Cabal Therapy and Teferi, multiple checks up the curve on our way to Arena Rector. Just need to find the 4 lands to get there. And I'm not going to just blind Therapy now because I'm not sure what they're doing yet. This could be Delver or this could be Storm. You know, just like anything with a blue mana source in it is live. Okay. Now it's getting less likely that there's Storm. I could just Cabal Therapy and name like Narset. And this Delver wouldn't have gone 2 turns without doing anything. I'm not buying that. Do I want to play around Wasteland? Probably not. I'm going to Therapy naming Force of Will. Because I see blue mana. Oh, we got 2 of them straight to the fucking Shadow Realm. That was awesome. Alright, so they handed Snapcaster Mage Swords to Plowshares. Should be able to exert some influence over this game in the next couple turns. Oh no, did they draw Teferi? Or Narset? Like, Narset was the card I was considering naming if I didn't go for Force of Will. And the reason I named Force is because I have my own Force, where even if I miss, then I know that they can't win a Force back situation. Alright, looks like somebody ripped a Planeswalker. I'm going to force this pitching Baleful Strix. That was one of the better draws their deck is capable of, I'm sure, but I've got one of my own. And there's the 4th mana source. I'm going to fetch for... I'm already exposed to Wasteland, and I don't think they have it, so it's Teferi time. And I'm just going to draw a card. They're going to have to, like, main phase Snapcaster Mage. If they draw a Ponder or Brainstorm, they can actually get value out of that, but nope, they're just going to have to, like, put Goblin Piker into play and pass the turn. There's not even a spell in the graveyard to flashback. Okie dokie, Artichokes, it's time. Please don't draw a big Planeswalker. Alright, sweet. Well, I'm going to fetch for Basic Island, and I'm going to reread what Nicol Bolas does. Destroy target non-creature permanent. Gain control of target creature. Ugin also destroys target creature with the +3. Yeah, I'm just getting Ugin. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be the right call all the time. And there's Rector. I'm going to flashback Therapy, naming Swords to Plowshares because that's the only spell in their hand, and I know that. And then Ugin is going to do Ugin things. Rector dies, and the way this works, it goes to the graveyard, then the trigger says you may exile it if you do. So there is a window for Graveyard Hate to mess this up. And right now, Teferi's protecting, and we have perfect information, but Graveyard Hate does work against this deck. And they conceded. All right, good call. The Ugin father, shutting it down. I believe I want my own Pyroblasts, or do I want... I think I like Thoughtseize. I mean, I know I like Thoughtseize. I like Mentor. Just want a Juke here. Strix and Plow, neither of which are super important. Plow can hit Hullbreacher, but so can Pyroblast. And Hullbreacher's not that popular of a card, even. So Pyroblast. Get my Plows out. Prismatic Ending can hit a resolved Planeswalker. Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh is in the sideboard. That has the same is blue problem as the other Nicol Bolas. Gotta cut one more card if I want all 4 of these, and I believe that I do. Innocent Blood's probably kind of bad. They just don't have that many creatures. Cut all these creature removal spells, bring in interactive spells and a juke threat, I do like all 5 forces. I like leaving all my blue cards in. Like Baleful Strix isn't huge in the matchup, but it is a blue card and just a piece of material, both of which I'm a fan of. Okay, let's do it. I think this hand's fine. Island Ponder, right? And they also Tundra Pondered. They are correct in their guess that I'm not a Wasteland deck. Did not shuffle the library. Cool. Now I even get to keep my fetch lands around. Alright, yeah, now we're chugging. Just get to ram Teferis on the stack until they run out of answers, and then Rector is at the ready. I don't have a sack out list for Rector yet, but I'm a few turns away from needing that. There's 4 therapies plus the Volrath Stronghold. Is that the one? No, Phyrexian Tower. That's the card that's actually in my deck. I probably should have played Vista there. It might not matter, but I think I would rather. I mean, I could still fetch a basic with this. It's not a huge deal. Oh, that's a weird Brainstorm. They must have a powerful 3-drop that they want to, and not the land to cast it. That's the reason I would cast Brainstorm there. Like if your hand has like Narset with Force of Will backup, but you don't have your 3rd land. 3rd land confirmed. And no action. Okay. This could be Hull Breacher. I can slam Teferi with Force backup, but slamming into Pyroblast feels bad, but I guess that's kind of what I signed up for. White mana and black mana. And let's test with a Teferi. Yep, clean little Pyroblast. I'm going to let them win that fight. I have another Teferi I can try again next turn. Or if I need to defend myself, Teferi's my only blue card. Our set. I'll try to force this. I have Prismatic Ending if they counter back. Not pretty, but it works. Alright, yeah, I wasn't winning the fight over my Teferi anyway. Narset picked up another Narset. That's actually kind of rough. Ooh, JK, I can do it all. Okay, I'm gonna Thoughtseize first. See what's going on over there. Expressive Iteration Brainstorm, holy guacamole. This hand is gonna be tough to pick apart. I think I want to take Narset though. And I'm gonna get my Volcanic Island. White, blue, red. And now Cabal Therapy off the top gets me a Planeswalker. Yeah, begin the rebuild. Based on the density and quality of the spells in their hand, though, I think my read was right on turn 2 when they end-step Brainstorm, that they had a handful of spells, but not their 3rd land. Surgical Extraction. Okay. That doesn't have any great targets right now. They probably just stripped to Fairy, I guess. Yeah. Alright, 2 of those are already gone. I am holding the Rector. Looking for that Cabal Therapy off the top. There's Brainstorm. Okay. I have to imagine they're going to shuffle away this Prismatic Ending, because it's not very good. Supposed to shuffle the library. Therapy. Ooh, that one's good too. Let's change things up here. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is pretty spicy. If I put back Rector and land, or I could just shred their whole hand right now, but then I lose Rectors. No, because I don't have 2 black sources. If I put back Rector, and then fetch a black source, I lose my Rectors, so that's not going to work. I'm going to put back Rector and Therapy, then Thoughtseize them, and play a land. 2 forces, and Reb. A little awkward because next turn I can Cabal Therapy and take 2 forces, but I'm not really casting any blue spells or leaving any permanents in play for them anyway. Alright, yeah, I'm going to take one of the forces. And I'll pass the turn and hope this works. Oh, they just played a land. Good. Alright, that works. Snapcaster Mage getting Surgical would have been a problem, but that's not what they have. Cabal Therapy. I have to name force here. Discard is so good against Jeskai control. Love this shit. When there's no Uro messing up your discards and you really get to just pick them apart and work with perfect information. So nasty. Force of Will. Get out of that hand. Then I'll fetch a Tundra, I guess. This is not a blue card. Ball Therapy, flash it back. I'm going to take the Red Elemental Blast and get Ugin. There's Ugin. It's funny that's Red Elemental Blast in their hand, because if I hadn't peeked with Thoughtseize, I'm going to name Pyroblast off the Cabal Therapy. So the changing up the names actually is huge here. I don't think they have 8 colors of mana in their deck for this Prismatic Ending. Gotta hope they don't play Council's Judgment or any such thing. Mystic Sanctuary is probably going to get back EI to dig with. Yep. Alright. It's a pretty good follow-up, but they are facing down Ugin. I'm not sure what their outs are. Their deck could even play. Like, Brazen Borrower is a pain in the ass, but Jeskai doesn't usually have that card. They could combo me out around it, I guess, if they go with, if they find, like, Narset plus Days Undoing. That kind of sucks. Scalding Tarn was the card they exiled. Alright, Teferi does not bounce Ugins. Alright, they just drew a card and conceded. Oogie dooby doo, baby. On to the next one. I'm on the play. Preordain. I mean, Island Preordain keep. Is that a thing? I guess I'm going to keep this. Island Preordain. Let's go. Looking for spells, and those are 2 of the best. Okay. Keep them both. It's like I didn't even cast Preordain. Perfect. Just keep them both on top. I see one of them a turn earlier than I would have, so I still cast Preordain. It counts. Ponder and chose not to shuffle from the opponent. I'm gonna brainstorm because I do play discard spells and I have ponders in the deck. Found some of each. I don't need a 5th land. Do I want to play fast and loose here, shuffle away a 2nd land, and count on ponder to get me there? And also just wait. I don't have to ponder right now. I can draw a land and then go action when it's time. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, I can Teferi or Prismatic Ending that. There's Kaldra. Oh, Tundra's on top of my deck. I am gonna fetch for basic planes here. Max out on spells. And Teferi is a temporary answer. Teferi also answers Kaldra, so I should probably lead on Ending. Or I should lead on... Alright, I would like to ponder first, but some of these decks have days in them, and I'm just gonna respect that. And I have to get Island here based on how I fetched. Okay. There's the Swamp and a Therapy. Therapy, historically, really good against the deck that reveals cards as it puts them into their hand. So there's a Kaldra over there I can name with Therapy for free. Not anymore. It's gone. And it's gone. The classic Stoneblade play pattern of search for some clunky equipment, Stoneforge dies, shuffle away with Brainstorm, search for it again. The engine. That means I'm gonna probably Strix this turn. I'm gonna draw Therapy. I can ponder, fetch a basic, Swamp, and then Strix. I go like that. Yeah, definitely don't want any of these cards. Shuffle. Not mad about Swords to Plowshares. Desperate Control, let's go. Snap plowing that thing. It's out here. Oh yeah, because oh no, they haven't even seen Therapy yet. They're just, nope, get rid of it. Not interested. Fair enough. God. If they have Force of Will, I'm dead. Okay, that was lucky. Holy shit. The old Jam Jace strategy. This is bad. My god, this is bad. I think they would have cast Stoneforge if they had one. What do I think is in their hand? I could also just wait, because I know it's not gonna change quickly. Alright. Guess I'm waiting. True Name Nemesis. Is this a card I can beat? And Ugin can race it. Alright. Guess I have to force here. And we just drop into the dregs. I suspect the hand is full of removal. Or counter spells. Alright, I'll just pass. I'll keep passing. Like, I don't need to check their hand right now because I'm not doing anything with that information. Okay, I can represent Force of Will here, and I can Therapy and Rector all in one turn with 5 mana. I'm not really worried about Kaldra because I have 3 answers to it in my hand. Here's land drops. I've pretty clearly telegraphed that I have 4 spells in my hand and drawn lands on my last 2 turns. Oh, there we go. Cabal Therapy naming Force of Will. Snapcaster targeting Brainstorm in response. Then they probably let the Therapy Resolve without casting Brainstorm. Oh wow, they're just doing it in response. I would have let this resolve and then checked, then like let them do what they're going to do and then threaten to change the contents of the hand at instant speed. Still naming Force of Will. Back to basics Brainstorm. All right, so they probably hid Force on top, which is pretty smart. I can wait, or I could just go for it. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, the 1000 IQ play would have been naming Brainstorm there, and I failed. Back to basics, a little bit annoying. I could just wait for another discard spell, but I'm not really beating this to Fairy anyway. All right, let's try this. Brainstorming into the Force. They set that up so well, and I fucked it up. I was busy narrating why I wouldn't have done what they were doing and not thinking about why they are doing what they're doing, which is the more useful exercise. That was bad. Getting rid of Snapcaster before they can bounce it with Teferi. That's a loop I can't really break up. Up there's Teferi. I can end Teferi if I feel like that's important. Not really necessary to do. I'll just pass. Just like Snapcaster Mage might be a reason to end Teferi. Fetched a land that was not Mystic Sanctuary. That's cool. Stoneforge Mystic. They get Cauldron with plenty of mana to cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could cast it literally right now and chose not to. Ooh, one of my own. I try to plow that, and then I'm just going to hold up 2 answers to Cauldron. Teferi can bounce the Germ token. My Teferi can bounce the Germ token. And then if they counter my Teferi, I can Prismatic Ending the Germ. There it is. I have life points. I can take a couple hits from this thing. Here's Teferi. Please resolve. Force pitching back to basics. Disappointing. Well, I'll exile the Germ. They can bounce Cauldron and replay it with Teferi. That line does exist here. Yep, using it immediately. A good call. I can only take 1 more hit from this thing. Ball Therapy. I will save that for a turn. Yeah, me failing to read the board or read the situation on that Snap Brainstorm was the whole game. I should have recognized that Brainstorm is the card that they're likely to have kept in their hand, and Force was the card they were likely to hide. Well, did we do it? I'm going to Therapy Force. If they have Snapcaster, they can just Snap Force anyway. Okay, their hand is nothing. Here's Rector. I'm going to Therapy and take the Prismatic Ending. Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. Gain control of target creature. Do I want Nicol Bolas over Ugin in this situation? Ugin can X equals 0. Yeah, I'm just getting Ugin. Exile each permanent. Yeah, okay. Prismatic Ending. Get rid of that one. Their hand is Plow and 2 lands. I'm going to X equals 0, which exiles the black Germ token. And hope this holds with me at 1 life. Dead to Snapcaster Mage at any point. Nope, not anymore. Start going upstairs. Come on, Ugin. Let's do this thing. That's a good one. They have to plus or they lose it. All right. Brainstorming with it. Cauldron also grants haste. So like any creature that they can play and equip immediately works. I'm going to deal 3 to Jace. And this Swords to Plowshares needs to hold up, basically. This next turn I can do the big Ugin thing. Oh, they just fetched, and they're out of fetchables. Snapcaster targeting Brainstorm. I'm going to respond to the Brainstorm with Plow. Brainstorming in response to Plow, which is in response to Brainstorm. I'm not feeling good here, because 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they have enough, like, literally Stoneforge Mystic, and just equip Cauldron to it. They need to completely brick on creatures over this entire turn cycle here. And multiple Brainstorms plus draw step. And they had the Force. All right. Okay, I'm dead. Took me a little too long to get stable here. And there's not even anything to bluff with the equip. That's just a lethal attack already. Okay, fine. All right, close call. I fucked up. Deserved to lose that game, but still made a game out of it. Okie dokie. I want Mentor. I want Prismatic Ending. I want Pyroblast. I guess I want Thoughtseize too. Don't really care about Surgical. This one's going to be a lot harder to sideboard for because they're not a creatureless deck. I have to actually respect creatures and spells out of them. Don't think I want Innocent Blood. Like Force of Will, I would normally shave it in a matchup like this, but I am kind of a combo deck, and being able to protect myself with Force is a big deal, but I'm bringing in Thoughtseize, which might even be better than Force in this matchup. Maybe Baleful Strix isn't great. You have a lot of removal. Can I cut a Preordain? Is that ever defensible? I think so. I just think all my spells are too important. Let's go. I'm on the play. I like this hand. I have a removal spell, some interaction, and a quick path to Mentor. Right, I'm just going to land go to start. I can decide if I want this Phyrexian Tower later on. Okay, I'm going to basic Island Brainstorm here. Put Ugin back in the deck. That's an easy one. And I just became interested in Phyrexian Tower with this Arena Rector. I think I'm going to get rid of Force of Will. Or I could get rid of Plow and Therapy Stoneforge Mystic right now. And I'm actually going to get rid of Force. There's no scrub land in the deck, so I'm kind of locking myself into... Maybe I should have brainstormed with the Polluted Delta, just knowing that white mana was going to matter. Interesting. All right. That kind of sucks. But anyway, I saw back to basics, but not Wasteland, so I'm going to go for Underground Sea. And then Therapy, naming Stoneforge Mystic. I got one, and they also have a Surgical. That's rough. Okay, Stoneforge is out. They have sort of Feast and Famine, Reb, Prismatic Ending, Surgical. They could just rip out my Cabal Therapies right now if they want to do that. Or they could draw another Stoneforge Mystic. That's cool too. Well played. Okay, there's Kaldra. I'm going to have to find a white source. If any of the top 4 cards on my deck are white cards, or white sources, we're going to be okay here. If not, we're fucked. Well, there is another shot at it here. I can still ponder into a white source. Do I want to just get rid of this Rector knowing that Surgical's over there? And the answer is probably yes. Rector and Tower get a lot worse in this world. And ponder. Come on, white source, 3rd card down. I'm going to shuffle this. And I guess I'm going to preordain. It hurts. Okay, that's actually pretty good though. Do I want the Strix? Go on a bottom Strix, top Flooded Strand. Okay. Here we are. Oh, and they have the Reb. Alright, spewed off the Surgical. Glad I got rid of the Rector. So, losing Rector and Phyrexian Tower, that was my play around Surgical. Feast and Famine is green and black. Don't really care about that. If it connects me, it's rough. But generally, don't care a lot about that. Okay. So if they end step Kaldra, how would they do that? That doesn't make sense. I think I just pass here. See what they do in the end step. Okay. Kaldra's here. Gonna get a basic Plains and plow that thing. Okay. They can put in and equip sort of Feast and Famine, but not attack. Slam Jace is the one unknown card in hand, Jace. That is how this match has been going. Oh, hell yeah. Are we having fun yet? Okay, this game is probably over. I need to draw, like, Red Blast right now, off the top. Prismatic Ending. Well, I'll point that at Jace, and hope we're not dead. Okay, Jace is gone. Just a 4-mana Brainstorm. They could cast and equip sort of Feast and Famine right now. That's even worse. Just bounce Kaldra. Alright, no white mana. That's good. I'll take that. They are still holding that red blast over there. And I can't respond to stuff anyway now. So I'll play Strix. I fired off the red blast on that. My Teferi, go. Bounce your Stoneforge Mystic. The damage is already done on that one. Now we're both just sort of in idiot mode here, but they have 6 cards in hand and they can answer my Teferi. I need a payoff for Mentor, like immediately. Like if I draw a Ponder and I can like Mentor, Ponder hit Preordain and like make a couple of monks, that might be a way out of this game. They replayed Stoneforge, searched up the Sword of Feast and Famine that they just brainstormed away. Rector with no sack outlet is rough. I don't think I can just drop Mentor into this Prismatic Ending. With the Therapies out of my deck, I think I'm just going to cast Rector, actually. I only have 1 enabler left, and if they don't have 4 colors to Prismatic Ending, and if they Swords to Plowshares, like that's a plow they don't have for Mentor, and if they don't have any of that, I can just block and get a Giant Planeswalker. Yeah, just moat. Force of Will, no good. Putting stuff in here. Sword. Cauldra does trample. So, okay, they're equipping that. I'm gonna block. They must have Snapcaster Mage or something to do with the graveyard here. Yep, alright, sure. And my Force of Will rotting in hand. Teferi's too good. The deck is great though, just classic Jeskai Stoneblade. Love that shit. I played something like this on the channel recently. Alright, deck. Time to draw cantrip that hits 2 more cantrips. Seen worse. I have not seen worse, actually. This is unplayable. Yeah, because if I Mentor plus Plow, they just re-equip Sword, exile Mentor with Prismatic Ending, and then the game is over. And Mentor is the only way I have left to win this game. And I'm close to hard casting Ugin and Nicol Bolas. That is a thing that could happen, I guess. I think I need to wait a turn, just take a hit from whatever's coming. You can discard the Force of Will, because it's not helping me anyway here. Now I'm going to play out the land, because hard casting my things is the out at this point. Alright, Jace. Alright, I'll concede to that. I've seen enough. We're just squeezed in a variety of directions here. Surgical Extractions and Pyroblast just cut me up. Sweet deck. Feels like that's probably a tough matchup. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw with a hand I can't keep. Plains Prismatic Ending keep. New shirt idea? I don't think so. This one's a banger though. Keep this and damn. I probably send a land. It's either land or Jace, but I like Jace being my blue card to pitch, and then I can still ponder. Alright, I'm sending Tundra. The old try to resolve a 4-drop strategy where I'm bottoming lands off my mulligan. You'll have to see it. Oh, alright, well, my mask. My mask! Playing against Reanimator. Yep. How bad's it gonna get for me here? Faithless Looting. Archon's in the graveyard. Alright, time to find another force. There's 4 more of them in the deck. I kept the blue card on top on purpose. Teferi and Strix don't do what I need to do here. On the play, I think I would keep Teferi. That could bounce Archon and we could go again, but right now this is a shuffle. Alright, ended up with Teferi anyway. Motobug. Big zoom. Alright. Archon of Cruelty. I have to discard something here. Guess I discard Jace. And hope I draw Swords to Plowshares. Damn near killed her. Alright. I'm gonna play Prismatic Vista, pass the turn. I'm gonna take a hit from Archon, discard one of the Rectors, bounce Archon next turn, and hope this game goes another turn after that. Oh, Dark Ritual. That's not a good sign. I'm getting thought seized. Alright, so I'm losing Teferi here. And they're flashing back looting. Discard a Grizzlebrand. Horrifying. I'm going to discard a Rector here. There are 3 more Teferis and 4 Swords to Plowshares in the deck that I'm drawing live to. And we get another look. Preordain. Oh no, I fucked up. No, I didn't. I do need a sack outlet for my Rector eventually. All right, bottom, top, towards the plowshares. This thing. Ha! Stability. With this Grizzlebrand in the graveyard. And a fresh grip of 4 cards. That'll show you. Animate dead. They can draw so many cards. Activate Grizzlebrand 4 times. That's a lot. I bet they're going to find the win somehow. Another looting. Found a Chancellor and an Archon. And I'm dead. Welcome to game 1s against Reanimator. But there were a couple windows there. That was a pretty dynamic game, all things considered. For how shitty Reanimator matches can be, that one was pretty reasonable. Now I bring in sideboard stuff. Containment Priest in this deck. That's a card that's fallen out of favor, but I love playing with. Okay, what is not so good here? Prismatic Ending, not great. Grix is not great, but it is blue. I don't want Innocent Blood. I know it answers big scary creatures, but I don't want to play a game where they have a big scary creature. Like, my job is to stop that from happening. I'll leave some Plows and Teferis in out of respect for it, but I don't really want to play to a world where that is the plan. I think Strix is like the card that is left that I can still cut. Don't like cutting blue cards. Alright, I'm cutting another Plow. I'm on the play with this pile of stuff. I'm gonna go for this. Force and 2 Teferis. This is not exactly sexy. I am gonna keep it though. Your opponent kept 7 with a Chancellor. Okay. How much disruption are we facing? Faithless looting. Probably should have forced that. I'm just clicking. That was bad. Guarded Chancellor and Archon. Reanimate targeting Chancellor. So they're playing around Surgical. I'm going to force pitching to Fairy. I'll pay the Troll Toll. They're probably sandbagging something. Or not. Alright. We take those. And I'll pass the turn and hope my Teferi holds up. Okay, cool. Thoughtseize. I'd rather do this than Teferi right now. Dark Ritual, Archon, looting. Dark Ritual doesn't really matter here. None of these things matter that much. Guess I'll take a looting though. Alright, yeah, that's kind of a tricky hand. But the fact there's no obvious good card in it is mostly just good for me. Guarded the 2 obvious bangers. Another Teferi. Guess that means I can cast one of them and minus it immediately. This is a lot of Teferis and not a lot of other action. Yeah, now I wish I had taken the Dark Ritual. In retrospect. Boom. Grizzlebrand. Jeez. Alright. Yeah, I guess I should have taken Dark Ritual. Like, that's the unique card in the hand and it unlocks... I don't know. Not sure if there are coherent arguments or it's just feel bad because it worked out that way. Grief is taking Teferi now, and... Ugh! Grief is the right name for that card. Maybe they'll accidentally reanimate something and kill themselves. Another Dark Ritual. Another Exhume. Yeah, getting Archon, that kills Teferi. I have to discard. And I don't believe this game is winnable anymore. Wow, that Dark Ritual really just unlocked everything. I guess that was the take. Okay, Ponder. Ponder into Brainstorm into 2 Swords to Plowshares when there's only 1 in my deck. That's the plan. And we're dead. Okay. Like, in my head, it was, I'll take the card that lets them fix this hand better, but they did have 2 copies of it, and the first one just made it perfect. Like, maybe I'm supposed to take the thing that opens up the payoffs rather than try to undercut the enablers. I don't know, that's a tough one. It's like, what if they just drew a swamp instead of a Badlands there? Does that, like, what is, I don't know. That's one of those great mysteries. Maybe you're just supposed to take Dark Ritual because it's the unique card, the unique effect in the hand, because the looting was already redundant. I don't know. All right, next round. On the play in round 4, I like this hand with lands and brainstorms. Gonna respect Wasteland and lead on my Vista. A Tundra strategy. Okay. Gotta respect a Tundra. I'm gonna hold off on Brainstorm because If they like jam Stoneforge Mystic, for example, I'm going to want some number of these plows. If they don't, I'm going to probably get rid of them immediately. Esper Sentinel. Yeah, that's the kind of card I want to get rid of. Okay, I'm going to brainstorm in response here. Oh, that card requires blue mana. And this is my first spell of the turn. So if I plow Sentinel afterwards, then I'm still good. Right, Sentinel resolves. And now I just hope they're not a Stifle deck. That would be really annoying. All right, we dodge the Stifle. I'm going to plow this thing. Spell Pierce. Okay, that's fine. I got more of those. I think I want to just plow on their turn. Like if there's some sort of equipment deck or something that wants to commit extra resources to the Sentinel, I want to invite that to happen. Stoneforge Mystic. That's fine because I have Cabal Therapy. Lion Sash, what the fuck? How did they know? I am a graveyard deck here. I could also just plow Stoneforge Mystic, Cabal Therapy my opponent, and ignore Esper Sentinel. I think that's actually the play. Just pay double for all my spells until the game is over. Okay, there's my plow. I'm gonna pay. They are Force of Willing, pitching Ponder. I will Force of Negation, pitching Force. Okay, that's gone. Now I'm gonna Cabal Therapy Lion Sash, because I actually just can't beat that card. So fucking stupid. And I'll play around Spell Pierce, which I've already seen, though I don't think they have, because they would have just pierced if they had it. I wonder if I'm the first person in Magic's history to Cabal Therapy Lion Sash. I suspected Cauldron was in their hand, because you don't get Lion Sash first. If they had just gotten Cauldron, like you saw how my plan just screeched to a halt and changed directions in the middle of last turn when they got Lion Sash. If they had just gotten Cauldron like I expected, I would have therapied the Cauldron and let them have the Stoneforge, but the fact they already had the one payoff and then got a reasonably castable card besides was rough. Also rough is the fact that they just fetched a third mana. Any 3-drop they cast here is going to be bullshit. Okay, that one is on the lower bullshit scale. I just got to draw a Rector. That's the plan. Come on, Rector, where are you? Okay, now I can Force of Will if I need to. They get to draw a card with Sentinel if I do that, but gotta find a Rector in the next few turns or I'm out of here. Oh no. That's so good. I hate when my opponent turns their good cards into, or bad cards into good cards. It's cheating. Another one of these, fuck. Alright. Still looking for Rector. Okay, a 1,000 mana Preordain here. I'm actually gonna fetch first, so I can keep both cards if I need to. I'm not going to show them my red land. I don't think that's going to matter here. And Preordain, let's go. There's Rector and Ponder, both of which I'm very happy with. So top, top. Now I can force to protect my Rector next turn. I'm taking 5 now. I go to 6, and then Ugin can do Ugin things. I can pay for one of the Sentinels next turn, but they are going to get to draw a card off Cabal Therapy. Do I think this is a Daze deck? I think I don't pay for Esper Sentinel if I expect Daze. Maybe just cast another True Name. Put something else on the board that dies to Ugin, please. But not to Fairy. Alright, here we go. Rector. I hardly know her. They forced. I'm going to force back. I get to pay for one of the Sentinels. I can't pay for the other. One of us is dead here. Cabal Therapy before I pass priority. Just make sure that doesn't happen. Gonna get Ugin. And what do I want to name here? I think they would have cast any instant they had in response. They've brainstormed. Do I know the Cauldron is still there? Have they shuffled since then? I could name Stoneforge Mystic, but I'm not really worried about that. I could name Ponder or Teferi. I'm not really worried about any of those. What am I worried about versus what do I think they have? I'm going to name Prismatic Ending. I feel like that's still over there. Okay. If I were paying more attention, I probably would have known their 2 cards in hand were the 2 cards I've already seen. All right, exile all the 3s and smaller. Your hand is Cauldron. You're facing Ugin. Let's go. True Name Nemesis is still a problem if they have more of those. I guess I can just sweep them up. Never mind. Feeling pretty okay here. Time to start going upstairs. I'm going to hold back my tower. If I draw another Rector, I can immediately also have Nicol Bolas in play. That's pretty great. Wall Therapy. Okay. Gonna Therapy and take the Cauldron. Just get it out of play. Force of Will's the other card in the hand. Okay. Keep going, Ugin. Chugga chugga, big guy. Now they can cast Force. Played the 5th land. But I also have perfect information knowing that I don't care about that. Upstairs again. Ugin can 10 next turn for the ultimate if I think that's worth doing. Gain 7, draw 7, put 7 permanents. I think plussing Ugin is still just better. Because, like, all the permanents in my deck are try to put Ugin into play, and losing my Ugin to do that seems pretty bad. Especially if, the possibility of a Hull Breacher in the mix. And I can just plus Ugin 3 more times and the game ends. I'm going to play the island. I'm going to keep hiding the Phyrexian Tower. I don't want them to know that's a thing that I can do. Oh, wow. That's a card in your deck? Okay. Well, I have the Prismatic Ending for Needle. Do they have the land or blue card to go with Force here? So I have Ending. All my Teferis are still in the mix. All right, they did not play a land, so the other card in the hand is a spell. Oh, now it doesn't matter what it is. All right. Prismatic Ending this with Force of Will back up. I hope they did draw a blue spell now, and then I can get them Hellbent and just finish this off. Do I want to do the ultimate thing? No, I just want to put them to dead with Force of Will back up. Yeah, the permanents in my deck just aren't good. Sorry to say. Main deck Pithing Needle's really interesting, though. Like, are they a Saga deck, or do they just have that card in the main deck for some reason? Like, do you just need that to beat Mazavith against lands? I don't know what's going on over there. Anyway, here's this Thoughtseize Pyroblast package again. We've been playing against a lot of pretty fair decks. And Mentor. This is a Stoneforge deck. I believe what I did last time was Force of Negation, Force of Will. I think I cut Innocent Blood last time, but I might actually like that. Though it's a lot worse than Swords to Plowshares. Just as a card. Alright. Innocent Blood's gotta go. Or no, we saw True Name Nemesis. Innocent Blood's back in. I really don't want to go that empty on Force of Wills, but that just is the worst card. Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. Let's jam. I'm gonna keep this hand. It has Nicol Bolas in it, but it also has Brainstorm, which will make everything okay. It always does. And I can Therapy checking for Stoneforges. And I'm gonna get Underground Sea to do it. There's a good chance this deck has Wasteland in it, but I also need my mana to function. Stoneforge Mystic. Oh yeah, we got one. And it is a Saga deck. Look at that. Use your context clues, people. You can learn things about your opponent's deck that they didn't even tell you. Ugin does not beat Construct tokens. I actually don't have any plan at all for those. Uh-oh. Like, there's no Dress Down in this deck. There's no Sweeper. What are we doing here? Holy shit. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to work through this in the most nightmare scenario possible. Oh no. You did not. Every single opponent. Oh my god. My previous opponent did this too. What the fuck? Well, at least they have to choose between using their Saga or getting real value off of Stoneforge Mystic. Like, they just tutored up Shadow Spear, which is something that Saga could also just do. Alright, this is a Brainstorm setup turn. Thoughtseize and Therapy. You don't need both of those. Do I think they're gonna skip on Saga usage to cast True Name Nemesis next turn? Is that a thing? Well, I can't get black mana this turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'll put away a Therapy and Nicol Bolas. And I could Ponder or Plow here. I'm not really worried about plowing. Yeah, I'm going to Ponder. And seeing Saga makes me pretty confident that this is not a Wasteland or Back to Basics deck. Preordain and lands. Do I want to shuffle this? No. All right. I can Teferi to work my way through all these cards next turn. If it's time to Teferi next turn, which it may or may not be. God, remember that time they drew Stoneforge Mystic after I therapied Stoneforge Mystic? And now there's this whole other dimension to the game that wasn't there a second ago. Disappointing. All right, they're clearly on Saga stuff rather than True Name Nemesis. I'm drawing Prismatic Vista here. If I bounce Urza Saga, the new one, then that means they only get one construct instead of two, and it resets this land. I think that's where I want to be. I'm going to shuffle away the other Prismatic Vista. And I'll get, well, another white, another black, another white. Yeah, there's already another blue in my hand. And Teferi dies immediately from the Stoneforge or from the construct, but whatever, it's doing its job. Oh, you have a force. Force pitching True Name. This is worth defending. Just the tempo of setting back the Saga this far is really exciting to me. Bounce the new Saga. This is what trying to grind through Urza Saga without a hammer like Meltdown or Dress Down does. Oh, I have the a bunch of energy fluxes in the sideboard. I just didn't bring them in. That's right. Yeah, maybe those should be in the deck. Or at least some number of them. I probably don't want all three against this deck that also has a reasonable fair plan. Okay, here comes the first tutor. We know there's a Pithing Needle in the list. If there's like a Nile Spellbomb or something, that's actually rough. Or I guess it would be Soul Guide Lantern in blue-white. All right, Needle. Are we proactively naming Ugin? Are we answering the Teferi in play? Yep, Ugin, proactively named here. Shadow Spear cast, and then the Urza Saga can equip the Shadow Spear. Did not need or want to equip Shadow Spear, apparently. What are you doing with your mana in that case? Leaving it up. Okay. Another one. I do like that. Okay, so I'm going to Thoughtseize. See what's going on over there. We know about Prismatic Ending, and then there's one mystery card. Flusterstorm. All right. I'm not going to fight over this because I can't take the land, and Prismatic Ending is the other card. So, no, I'm not going to pay for these. I'm going to bounce the Construct, buy myself some time here. They telegraphed that they had a spell in hand when they didn't equip Shadow Spear, because that wasn't free. Like, they actually did have something meaningful to do with their mana. They could have dealt an extra damage to me and gained 4 life. And they didn't do that, so that is a read. Ooh, played Scalding Tarn. They forgot what land I've seen. I've seen Flooded Strand in their hand. Or is that this Flooded Strand? I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I don't know about that Flooded Strand. Whoops. Talking all sorts of shit for no reason. Okay, well, it's Rector time. I believe I know Prismatic Ending's in the hand. Uh-oh. Fetching in response. Not even sure if Nicol Bolas beats this board. With the Plow's help, it probably does. Guess it depends on what's coming out of this other saga. If they have a second Needle, we're in hard mode. Therapy, let's go. Get Big Nick. Guess they could have Sartreal in hand too, which would be a disappointment. Did all this hard work. Alright, Big Nicky B. Let me read this thing, make sure it actually works. Destroy target non-creature permanent. Oh, I can just kill Urza Saga. Fuck yeah. Alright. Yeah. Nicol Bolas looks pretty good. I'm gonna name the Prismatic Ending that I believe is over there. Okay, I did know the hand. It was the Flooded Strand. I didn't lose track of it. Destroy target non-creature permanent. How about Urza Saga? Sound good? You get a construct out of the deal that I will cast Swords to Plowshares on. I could wait, but we've seen Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm out of them. Alright. I am going to plow the construct and just hope they don't rip Kaldra off the top. That's my plan here. All in. Flooded Strand versus Nicol Bolas. Dual decks. Ooh. Played the land before casting Brainstorm. Interesting. I mean, Brainstorm's still one of the better draws, I'm sure. If they found Kaldra here, that's 3 extra looks at it. That is the one card that I'm medium concerned about. I guess I could still just take it. Like, Bolas takes 5, goes to 3, -2 to steal the germ. They still control Kaldra, but I control the 5/5 creature. Alright, just suiting up and starting to bash, I guess. Okay. Oh, fuck yeah. That's disgusting. I guess I should mentor first and then ponder. I'm leaving up white for Swords to Plowshares because that's the one that puts this game into easy mode. Cabal Therapy would have been sweet here too, but I couldn't leave up both. I'm actually just going to shuffle this. I don't really care about Thoughtseize, and I don't want the 2 lands. Opponent has had enough, though. What a delightful confluence of my interests, with Nicol Bolas, Planeswalker, and Monastery Mentor in play at the same time. On to the final round. I'm on the draw in the final round, playing for a positive record against Aaron Relentless, who is a known Death and Taxes expert, but also plays Elves and is currently presenting a 60-card deck. I'm going to keep this double plow hand, because everything that I know about Aaron... Uh-oh. I've been deceived! Well, my Ugin awkwardly in my hand. I'm sure that they're just going to take Ponder and then the game is over. So, looks like Aaron is on Doomsday today. The classic juke of being known for playing various creature decks and then playing Doomsday. And my biggest secret revealed. Oh, took a plow. Fascinating. What duress deck takes Swords to Plowshares from my hand? Is this a trick? Wow. Alright, I guess I'm playing Tundra. Still have to ponder, right? I think I gotta start fixing this situation. Okay, I'm gonna put Rector, Brainstorm, Prismatic Vista in that order, because I don't want to lose either of those, the Brainstorm or the Rector, to a discard spell. The Brainstorm can put Ugin back in the deck where Rector can find it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, maybe it's some Reanimator deck. And I should have left Plow in. Or left Plow up. I don't know. I also have Innocent Blood in my hand now. We got plays. Whatever. Let's figure it out. And maybe it's like Tin Fins or something. Just taking the Plow is so weird. Maybe I should have read into that more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Someone's taking my Ugin. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, a mono black Depths deck. Okay, yeah, Depths is a reason to take Swords to Plowshares. Right, I can Brainstorm here. Put Ugin and... Oh, wow. Now I have a basic Plains. Ugin and Rector on top, or Ugin and Swamp. Alright, yeah, I'm going to put back Ugin and Swamp. Then I'm going to fetch for basic Swamp. And I'm going to Innocent Blood. Because Plow's an instant and Blood is not, and knowing that I have to beat Merit Lage at some point makes me want Swords to Plowshares. The Expedition map is live. I'm going to Brainstorm first. Alright, Therapy is a really good find. I can put back Polluted Delta because I don't need that, and hide one of the Rectors on top. And Cabal Therapy. Right, what card do I think is in this hand? I think Vampire Hexmage would already be in play. I could name Thoughtseize. They've cast that already? Ah, 1 for 1. 1 spell in the hand and it was Thoughtseize. Get the fuck out. Ugh. We're in the big leagues now, kids. A big part of playing with Cabal Therapy is being able to blind name things, like really figure out from context what you need to play against, play around, what they could have, what they can't have. You'll love to see it. Urza Saga. Alright, well, I'm going to put Nicol Bolas into play this turn. Destroy Urza Saga. Okay, here we go. I'm going to fetch a basic island and play Arena Rector. Cabal Therapy, this 2-card hand. You get Big Nick. And name... what would even be in the hand? It doesn't matter. Already conceding. Doesn't want to make me figure it out. But yeah, Nicol Bolas kills Urza Saga this turn, kills Dark Depths next turn, forces the action on Swords to Plowshares, and boom. Yeah, that was a good game. I was really worried about the turn 1 duress, but then they turned out to be a fair deck anyway. Okie dokie. Is it time for this Nicol Bolas? Exiles 2 cards from their hand. Exiles the cards from their library until you cast one. I'm not sure why this card is in the deck. I would cut this for almost anything. This other different worse Nicol Bolas does not seem like where you want to be. Where do I want to be? They are a Saga deck, seems. Innocent Blood's good. Dauthi Voidwalker's a pain in the ass because that thing it disrupts my convo and gives them this other out of like Dark Ritual, Voidwalker, Thoughtseize, or Ugin. Next turn cast Ugin. Blusterstorm beats up on discard pretty well, which I do like. I don't really have discard of my own. Force of Negation I don't love. I can get Monastery Mentor in here instead. I think I'd like Prismatic Ending in. Do I want to be fluxing? I don't think so. Teferi doesn't seem tremendously important. Neither does Baleful Strix. They are both blue for force. And I could have the proactive Thoughtseizes in, but I already have Cabal Therapy in my deck. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut Ace Strix. Because the Voidwalker has Shadow. It's good at blocking Merit Lage, but I have a bunch of answers to that anyway. Alright, I'm doing this. This hand needs a white source real bad. And it already has the Nick in it, which opens me up to the line I was worried about of getting something Thoughtseized. This I'm pretty interested in. I'm going to keep and send Phyrexian Tower. I know I don't have white mana, but I do have 2 Plows and Preordain that can dig for white mana. And if they have 1 discard spell, then like they can choose to take the Preordain and hope I never hit white, or they could start working through the Plows. And took the Preordain. Good call. I drew white mana. I love that. I could Cabal Therapy Expedition map or Voidwalker. I'm going to just go after Voidwalker. Because that thing messes up my whole plan, and it is a different side plan of its own. Alright, we got one. There was a Voidwalker. There's also Helm. We're a Helm combo deck. Never missing on Cabal Therapy is pretty nice. I think the only therapy I missed on was that Brainstorm one that I should have known better. Oh, baby, that's fucked. That was a really good draw. Now I'm in trouble. I don't know that I can beat this card. Alright, well, I'll get my Tundra in play. Well, it was a good run, team. All of my outs to this thing. I can bounce it with Jace. That's literally all I can do. Can't even plow in response, and Turok gets bigger. Okay, yep, that's the discard problem. Even when you hit, you still don't always win because the top of the deck can be good. Okay, I have a couple of draw steps here, so I'm at 15. Uh-oh, did not equip Shadow Spear when they could have. God damn it. Alright, that cut out my only out. Alright, well, the out's back. White, black. Get rid of this. I can still draw Rector right now. I have this turn exactly to do it. Nicol Bolas can answer this thing. Ugin can answer this thing. Let's go. Rector off the top. I guess I should fetch just to maximize my ability to draw Rector. Rector, baby! Oh my god. That counts. That was the other thing I could draw. Alright, alright, alright. We're treading water now. I had 4 draws in the deck. 1. Oh, they're investing in the future with Helm. Fascinating. Alright, Jace, let's go. Alright. Put back Nicol Bolas and Island. And I'm going to play Academy or Arena Rector. I'm going to Cabal Therapy, naming Turok. I'm going to get Nicol Bolas. And they conceded. Wow, that was a crazy game. Thank you, Jace the Mind Sculptor. I've been making fun of you a lot lately, but you did the shit. Holy guacamole. That's good content. And we finished with a positive record, 3-1 with 4-color Arena Rector Planeswalker stuff. This was a sick league. I will say, as a control player, the inability to really play to a long game kind of bothered me. Like when we were against the various Stoneblade decks, where as the game went on and I wasn't moving ahead, I felt like I was falling behind. Normally the decks I like to play, especially ones that contain Brainstorm, Ponder, Force of Will, Jace in them, I usually feel like the longer the game goes, the better I'm doing. But it was the opposite with this deck, because it is ultimately a combo deck, like I said in the deck tech. But it is pretty good at executing that combo. And I like that it's not trying to be too sexy. Like there's just Ugin and Nicol Bolas, and between the two, most situations are covered. Like you could have like 4 different planeswalkers here. You could spread out your Teferis across like this whole spread of fancy planeswalkers, but like just bread and butter, baby. Just Nicol Bolas, Ugin. One of them will do what you need it to do. And the Fort Teferi was really nice, just constantly checking opponents' answers and treading, like bouncing Urza Sagas was pretty cool. That was a sweet line. You're just buying time until you find Rector. All the card slots made sense. I'm into it. I kind of wish there was a 4th Strix, but I don't know what I'd cut for it. Maybe one of the preordains, but that's my tendency to lean into being more fair and be more of a control deck. But I think preordained could become Baleful Strix without nuking too much of the combo plan. Only 3 Rectors is an interesting choice too. A lot of the game, like, this is not a card you want to draw 2 of. You want to draw exactly 1 in a game, and you don't want it to happen until turn 4. So I imagine whoever developed this list, Khan Kubrat or wherever they found it, the person really put work into understanding that you want exactly 1 copy of a 4-drop when you have exactly 4 mana. And you don't want it before then, and you don't want it after then. So 3 actually makes a lot of sense, even though trying to rip to that out when you need exactly Rector, 3 feels wrong. But we also kept hands where it was like, here's this fucking Rector in my opener. Hope we make it that far. The Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh, I just am having trouble imagining what this is even for. I probably want another Monastery Mentor. I'm just going to add a Mentor to the sideboard, cut a Nicol Bolas, because having that juke is nice, because every deck has Surgical Extraction or some sort of Graveyard Hate in it now, because graveyards are such a resource in Legacy, between Uro and Reanimator being big, and even Delver is mostly a graveyard deck these days. So I want more juke and less of the same, especially when the same is just worse. Fuck that. And I think I'm leaving it there. That's the one change that was very obviously needed to be made. Obviously, you can tune up your sideboard for your expected metagame. The Thoughtseizes were so good, I would even be tempted to try the main deck, like maybe over Force of Negation, get 1 Thoughtseize in, but your mileage may vary on that. That's also a meta thing. So I'm just going to leave this where it is. Khan Kubrat, thank you for this list. Everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the thanks button next to the join and subscribe buttons. Hit all those buttons, actually. Help this channel grow. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.